Can you explain before this court your observation of my client's face within those seconds?
Kan u net vir die hof vertel wat u opgelet het van my kliënt se gesig van daardie sekondes wat u nog gekyk het op die video?
Dit lyk of sy oë toe is, julle.
It looks like his eyes are closed, my lord.
I am watching it like that. I am watching it like that. I enlarged the video. I could see his eyes opening and closing. I could see the eyelids moving. I could also see him pulling his lower lip up. I could see facial expressions. So it might be that on the device you're watching and on that screen, as if the eyes are closed. But I could specifically see eye movement. Now, yesterday there were also mention made of the eyes closed. So once we get to argument, we're going to have these devices available. Because I went to look at some of those again last night. And I don't know whether we're using the same value, but some of my take on it may be different to what counsel perceive it to be. It's real evidence that's before the court. It was admitted as real evidence. I don't need a witness to interpret real evidence for me. But we can go through it, but I don't necessarily see it on my device, which I have open in front of me. And I have a crisp picture, which is in high resolution. And I don't know whether it's helpful for the witness to comment on what he sees there, because this is the evidence. Let me explain. The exhibit was handed in. Ms. Naidu Chetty, my registrar, uploaded the exhibit onto the team that we created for this case. The way I'm viewing it is I'm looking at the exhibit, the court exhibit, by utilizing technology. So we have the exhibit on the SharePoint of the judiciary. And when I access it, as I'm accessing it now, all I do is I link to what's on the record. So I'm looking at it as it is in the record. Except that because of the device I'm using, it's in a high resolution. That gives me a much better quality than what we could see on the screen. Also, I have the ability to zoom in. Because it's real evidence before the court. So, Ms. Mkhabayi, I'm going to disallow the question because that's not what I see on the exhibit. And whatever the witness's opinion is of what he sees, it's not what I see. And what's important is what I see on the exhibit. Thank you.
With due respect, my lord, I would humble request the court to clarify. Now I'm confused. I don't know whether the court is answering the questions for the witness. Humble, I will need that clarification.
Are you done?
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Mkhabayi, I am not answering the question for the witness. I gave you reasons why I am disallowing the question. I've made an order. You may continue. if you want me to make a special entry in terms of Section 317 of the Criminal Procedure Act, please bring the application.
Ms. Sonneblom, can we go to...
Anytime somebody says, "Are you done?" just know they are coming for you. I mean, Mkhabayi Kachama, she really tried it with my lord. I was listening. You see, this is the thing with Judge Nathan Erasmus, okay? He pulls your attention, he explains, and then he makes a ruling. And even his explanation to me made absolute sense. He explained that, hey, listen, I've got an iPad, okay? My registrar, Miss Naidu, and remember, he calls her Miss Naidu, the judge over there in the Pretoria North High Court, he's on a first name basis, okay? He's like, Rose! 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 How are you calling Rose like that in a court of law? But you know what? Asikolapo, I digress. Judge Nathan, he says, he goes ahead. And I think he did it really well. Because Mkhabayi had asked the witness, what do you see of my client? Okay? What do you see of my client? My client's body language. And I personally love to observe body language. You guys know that. That's something that I enjoy doing. Because it tells a lot. Okay? Body language tells a lot about a person. What they're saying and what their body is saying has to match. Otherwise, if it's not in alignment, it's not copacetic. But let's continue. So then the judge, he takes his time. And then he says, Miss Naidu, she uploaded this video to the shared team. We all have access to the exact same video. The question is, how are you accessing the video? I'm accessing it with my device, okay? And my device gives me the privilege to do this in high resolution. And I know it's an Apple device because he mentioned it a couple of times that he needed it by sundown. Do you guys remember that? If you remember when the judge said, I need this uploaded by sundown. Converted from CD, Don Donny, all the way to his Apple device. He was not resting, okay? He even gave a deadline by sundown. So we know it's an Apple device. And he says, because the device I'm using is in high resolution, which is a better quality than what's on the screen. Listen, the sun is shining in that screen. Can't even see what's going on in the screen. And worse off, we can't even hear clearly. But my lord says, I have the privilege of watching this 150 times on my own, in my own time, and I can zoom and zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. And I think this is unfortunate for Mkhabayi. And you guys already know I love Mkhabayi's cross-examination style. But for this one, I stand with the respectable judge. I stand with my lord. And because... why didn't she do this as well? You don't need an Apple device to zoom in and out. I think my laptop is, I have both laptops because some things work better in Windows for me. And I think my Windows laptop, I can zoom it. I think so. I'm going to have to try that when I get home. But yeah, it acts as a tablet because I can fold it up. You can fold it and the keyboard is on the other side and then you treat it like a tablet. I've never used it that way. I got it strictly for using it as a backup laptop. And I use it for my lives. So guess what? We're going to go live soon. But I digress. Okay, I digress. Let me stay on focus. Let me stay on topic. So basically what I'm saying, he has the ability to zoom in and out. Mkhabayi should have done this as well, because her asking the witness, what do you see of my client? When my lord says, he's not sleeping, okay? He's very much alive, okay? He's blinking twice. He's making facial gestures. He's awake, okay? But then, if I was Mkhabayi, I would also argue that not everyone sleeps the same way. Now I would have to bring in a sleep expert to confirm if he's asleep or not, okay? Because my lord is not a sleep expert. But we are not there, okay? I don't have the ability to zoom in and out that video. But if my lord, if he says he zoomed in and out, I stand with my lord. I believe him because he's that kind of judge, okay? He's earned his respect from myself. Then he says, I'm going to disallow your question because that's not what I'm seeing. And I like that he explains and then he gives his ruling, and then he explains why his ruling is the way it is. It's very, very, very good the way he did it. He didn't start with, I'm disallowing the question, which therefore would put Mkhabayi on defense. He started by explaining. He walked us through the device and the technology and the resolution. Even though he didn't tell us the resolution, but he walked us through that it's high quality, okay? It's good, it's clear, it's crystal clear, it's crisp, okay? And then he tells her, I'm going to disallow your question, and this is the reason why. And Mkhabayi, Miss Mkhabayi, then says, with due respect, now I'm confused. I don't know whether the court is answering questions for the witness. Ooh, Mkhabayi, I felt a pin drop. Ooh, that's a tough one. So let me know in the comment section, do you think my lord was answering questions for the witness? Is that what you heard? I've watched this clip 3 times, so I definitely want to hear your opinion. Do you think Mkhabayi his thought process is right, that my lord was answering the witness's question, or the judge was making a judgment, an executive decision, objecting? Yeah, could you get the judge object? Yeah, let me know your thoughts. And then for those who follow the Senzo Mayuwa trial, we already know we've got the judge of there who answers for the witness. This is different. Let me know if you see this as different, or if we have to give Judge Rata the same grace we are giving Judge Nathan. Let me know if when Judge Rata answers for the witness and how Judge Nathan answers for the witness in quotations, is this the same thing? Let me know. Drop a 2 in the comment section if you think it is the same thing. But what else do I want to say? As well, he says to Mkhabayi, I gave you reasons why I'm disallowing the question, and I've made an order. You may continue. Oh, mic drop. Like, Judge Nathan is so stern, but respectfully so. And because of the way he says it, it gives Mkhabayi no leg room, no wiggle room. There's nothing else you can say. And then he completes it with, if you want to make a special entry in terms of Section 317 of the Criminal Procedure Act of 19 please bring the application. Now let's talk about this Section 317. Section 317 would mean that Mkhabayi is appealing the judge's ruling right now, and the judge is saying, you have that option, okay? We're not going to do it now. I've made a ruling, but if you have a problem, you know what to do. You're a lawyer. You submit a special application to myself, of course, and then I will make a ruling, which for me, I think is redundant. When she makes that special application, she's not like she's submitting it to Judge Nathan's supervisor or manager or the JP. She's submitting it back to him. So in terms of the law, you confront your accuser. So if Mkhabayi is accusing Judge Nathan of anything, she's got to put it down in the special application, put it in writing, and give it to my lord. My lord can reconsider based on whatever her arguments might be. But in this case, for me, the judge was very clear. I don't see how Mkhabayi is going to wiggle around that in a special application. That application would be appealing his decision, and then because the application would be appealing his decision, because the application would be appealing his decision, I don't see how he will then change his mind. So I think it's a redundant process, and he knows it. That's why he said, you just go right ahead, okay? Just go right ahead and submit that application. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to end it here. Definitely want to hear from you. Do remember to type Bring Back JOSHLIN in the comment section down below. We are within a trial. Yes, this video is a day late, but I still want to do it because this is relevant, okay? It's relevant, and I'm going to start doing the edits for today's courtroom, okay? Stick with me, okay? Stick with me, yes.